First time I met Drake, we were at a restaurant, where we ended up performing. We would perform there every week together, and we all met. We sat down, we had some food, and he was a great guy. I mean, at the time he was super. We were young when we met each other. I think he was 17 when I met him. First time I met Jay-Z, very cool, very quiet. Came into the studio, we started playing my records, and he just sat there, he didn't say anything, just kind of smiled, nodded his head, and then cracked a couple of jokes, and then he was like, all right, I'm on board. I was like, okay, great. He's really cool, and a lot of people wonder what he's like. He's really a cool guy, and he's actually really funny. First time I met Questlove was when we ran by each other at the Staples Center at the Grammys one year. I was outside, and I just met him, and I'm like, hi, I'm a huge fan of yours. And then we re-met again at the studio, and I went back in and I saw him, and we started making music. And he was another one that was very quiet, but he's funny. We started looking at YouTube videos, and then that's when like all the walls came down. We were just cracking up over all kinds of stuff. The first time I met Steve Rifkind, he came into my studio session, and I was recording, and he came in, listened to my songs, and I played this one song I did for Reggae Gold, which was Somebody Come Get Me. And the song is called Somebody Come Get Me Before I Kill This Man, yeah? So I play the record, and he stops the record. He's like, hold on, stop the record. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, are you West Indian? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, this all makes sense now. So then shoot to, he plays the music. He's like, you're a star, I want you to come meet me. Flies me into New York, and we went through all kinds of drama. It was super high, intense. He was like, we had some meeting, and then we missed the meeting, and he got upset, and then, but he wanted to sign me. I mean, we were ready to go, and we just had this big meeting, and then he put me in the showcase that he did. But what I loved about Steve in the instance I met him is he is a heart man, and he goes with what feels right. And the minute I met him, he got the music, he understood it. He didn't try to change it, he didn't want to change it. He got who I was, and that was just obvious in meeting him. That was a good meeting. First time I met Drake, we were at a restaurant, where we ended up performing. We would perform there every week together, and we all met. We sat down, we had some food, and he was a great guy. I mean, at the time he was super. We were young when we met each other. I think he was 17 when I met him, and he was still doing television, and was very charming, as he still is, and had a very creative mind, very, very creative mind. And I saw the superstar in him right from the beginning. Right from the beginning, I saw it. And but he was a teenager, so he was into everything. And we would play that night, and we would get in the studio, and he was working on it. And I saw a star the first time I ever saw him.